Breaking news out of Central Florida. That's where Seminole County officers are providing new details on that deadly abduction of a woman from South Florida.
Lots of moving parts with this story, so let's listen in.
Working with our judiciary, subpoenaing records from phones, other pieces of evidence, video evidence from crime scenes, and we're still waiting for a lot of that information to come back. We knew that initially Catherine had been traveling north from Homestead. I think the initial report that we had relayed to you that her husband, Miguel, had provided information to our detectives initially that she was coming up to visit family members. We said at the time we did not know of any family members that were located in the area. We've since located at least 2 family members, but neither one of them were expecting a visit from Catherine at the time. When she was on her way traveling up here, probably around 4 p.m. in the afternoon, when she was probably in the area of downtown Orlando on I-4, there was likely a communication, a phone call that occurred through a FaceTime communication. We had reported that the husband, Miguel, had provided his phone and was cooperative, but we thought that there was a lot of details that he was leaving out, is what I said at the last news conference. Her brother, Louis, has also been providing information and also gave his telephone up voluntarily for forensic examination, and actually was conducting, by his words, his own independent investigation. He did not contact law enforcement to do that, but he reached out from a computer that was connected to an iPhone through an iCloud account and found a contact that looked like it was the last person that Catherine had spoken with. And then, by his report, he called that person, and he said he did not know who that person was. He screenshotted an image of the person that he called. We have later identified that person. I'm going to call him Giovanni for now. There's going to be a lot of names here, but I'm going to call him Giovanni. We'll release his full name at the conclusion of this press conference. He takes a still photo, does not know who the person is, and sends it to our detectives. The forensic examination of his phone shows a greater picture of not only the person that he sent us the photograph of, but he was actually in FaceTime. So it's a FaceTime photograph of Louis talking with this person who we now know to be Giovanni. We identified Giovanni by taking the photograph that is contained in the image that is released, running it through a database called Faces that's run in Pinellas County by the Pinellas County Sheriff's Office, and it matches with 98.6% a 2019 arrest in Orange County, a booking image that identifies the person as Giovanni. Giovanni and his girlfriend, will use her last name for this, as Soto. They reside in Castleberry. As detectives are awaiting a lot of the investigative reports to come back on the phone tolls, photographs, 417 cameras, all of these things, we ultimately, through surveillance, established probable cause to conduct a search warrant of the home in Castleberry where Giovanni and his girlfriend Soto live. We conduct the search warrant after Giovanni and Soto leave the residence. We go inside and ultimately find fentanyl, a gun, the gun not a 10 millimeter, and likely not related to this particular crime. And ultimately, Giovanni is facing charges for that. While we're conducting the search warrant, we get contacted by our federal partners at HSI that Soto, the girlfriend of Giovanni, and an occupant of the house in Castleberry that we're executing a search warrant on, takes and accepts delivery of 3 kilos of cocaine after it was mailed in through the mail. United States Postal Service intercepted that. A delivery was made in Osceola County, where Soto collects that delivery. She is arrested, facing federal charges, and currently incarcerated in Osceola County under a federal hold looking at that. Giovanni is facing Seminole County charges of trafficking fentanyl, and then we will release specific details and ask for the public's assistance to help us locate him. We've got his photo. We're going to put a photo up on the screen later in this news conference. Going back to the vehicle, I said that the green Acura was incredibly unique. There were 3 in the state. 2 were salvaged. There was only 1 that was out there, but there was no license plate on the Acura. In a previous news conference, I said it was legitimately owned by a family in Castleberry. They sold it to a dealership or traded it at a dealership. It went to an auto auction and then ultimately ended up in a buy here, pay here that does a lot of their marketing and sales on Facebook Marketplace. When they post that on Facebook Marketplace, a person with a profile name of Jordan LaTroy reaches out, does not speak English, and then ultimately shows up at the car dealership to purchase that green Acura. The profile photograph on the Facebook profile that's used to communicate with the buy here, pay here dealership, we'll put an image up on the screen here of that profile picture. Back one slide. And you can see it appears that the profile picture taken in January is somebody wearing exactly the same clothes, or what appears to be exactly the same clothes as our shooter. A backtrack of a phone number that is given with the purchase of the green Acura, and I remember I had said in the previous news conference that the purchaser never came back to finalize the deal, is why there was no tag ever registered to the vehicle. A phone number that was used in that communication links back through an Orange County Sheriff's Office burglary report of somebody with the name of Jordanish Torres Garcia. We'll put his photograph up there. Jordanish Torres Garcia. Again, the name used in that profile is Jordan LaTroy. The phone number that he uses links back to his legitimate legal name, Jordanish Torres Garcia, or as he goes by Jordan, 28 years old. He had an active felony warrant for weapons possession, and with the assistance of the U.S. Marshals, the Orange County Sheriff's Office, and the Seminole County Sheriff's Office, we now have him in custody here at the Sheriff's Office. We arrested him in Orange County as he was walking in to a business on Orange Avenue, south of I think it's Oak Ridge, a couple miles south of Oak Ridge. And this photograph is a photograph that was taken at the time of the arrest just after noon today. Again, he is here at our office being interviewed for his connection in this crime. Now, back to the comparison of photographs, please. We can go back to that. I'm identifying him as a person of interest because when it comes to legal cases, that's probably the safest thing to call him. But his phone number is matching the phone number that was given with the person who purchased the green Acura. The profile that is connected to him, the image on the right, or in front of what looks like a location, a tourist location in Orlando, is the profile image that he has had up there since January, and then, of course, the photograph of the crime scene of what he's wearing looks to me like it's identical, right? So I don't know how strong you can emphasize a person of interest. He's not going to be released. He has federal charges that he's going to be held on, and this investigation will continue. All of this is without yet getting the tolls and the records that we have subpoenaed out there. We still don't know yet who the other occupant in the green Acura is. we'll continue to work that angle of the investigation. But again, this is great police work, great investigative follow-up, a collaboration between the FBI, the DEA, the Orange County Sheriff's Office, the Osceola County Sheriff's Office, HSI, and our media partners who have been doing an outstanding job keeping this on the forefront of everyone's attention, front and center of what's going on. The communication that Lewis has provided us was less than forthcoming. Still, Lewis and Miguel being the husband, Lewis being the brother, are not suspects. We're not charging them at this time. But there again, Lewis's communication with us was that he talked to this person on the phone, which we now know to be Giovanni. He tells us, Lewis tells us, that Giovanni says that Catherine was up here to deliver money and other stuff for a friend. Now, again, I'm not going to speculate, but he says to us she was up here to deliver money and other stuff for a friend. And again, person of interest, Jordan Torres Garcia, is in custody here at the sheriff's office, is being interviewed right now by detectives. The other person of interest we're looking for is Giovanni. We'll release Giovanni's full information, and we will have media packets that kind of summarize as much as we can. Again, incredibly complicated investigation that has twists and turns, but in just about a week, I think that there's great progress in this investigation without getting a lot of the court documents and records back yet. When those records come back, I think it's going to be able to.
Okay, you've been listening in on this news conference, and you heard him say it there. It's lots of twists and turns, a very complicated case. But at this time, they do have a person of very strong interest arrested. They are looking for this man, Giovanni, who did have contact with the victim, Catherine. We are going to continue to follow this. We're going to break it all down for you in our next half hour of news. And right now, we're going to take a quick break.